We're going to do something a bit different this time around. I've done Sonic September in the past, but then I ran out of Sonic games I owned. We might revisit something like that in the future, but for September 2024, we're going to do nothing but simulation-style games. You know, call it Simtember, because it's easier to say than Simulation September like Jares had recommended to me, and I'm lazy and can barely speak English as it is, so the fewer the words, the better. Anyway, yeah, simulation-style games. You know the ones. Not games like Civilization or Frostpunk. I would consider those more strategy than simulation. Instead, we're talking about the typically casual games that you can pick up and play for a few minutes, but then realize, oh crap, a few hours have ticked by. The games that can range from really, really fun, like Euro Truck Simulator 2 or Farming Simulator, or they're really crappy like, I don't know, Jared says Gym Simulator and Car for Sale Simulator are kind of bad, so those I suppose. Most of these styles of games have simulator in the title, but others, like this week's review, Arcade Paradise, doesn't. I guess that's probably somewhat obvious. Arcade Paradise has an interesting premise behind it. Many simulation genre games don't have an actual storyline to follow, other than starting with nothing, earn money, and be happy. But that's not the case here. In Arcade Paradise, you play as a character named Ashley, who inherits his father's laundromat that he had purchased years prior and kind of forgot about. Ashley is told to run the laundromat because playing video games is a waste of time and you need a job. So, handling patrons' dirty underwear becomes your job. At least at first. You'll realize that there is a small space in the back of the laundromat where a dingy arcade lives, and it's here that you'll be earning most of your cash. The game does a great job at guiding you slowly into the mechanics of the game. First, you are told how to launder items. Pick up a laundry basket, dump it into a washer. Once it beeps, you take out the washed garments and chuck them into an available dryer. Once that is done, you take the finished laundry and place it on a counter to get paid. You'll be ranked depending on how fast you get the load done, and the faster you go, the more you get paid, seemingly up to $30 per basket. Not terrible, but the arcade is where it's at. See, once you get going, you begin enlarging the space in the back of the laundromat, giving you more real estate in order to purchase more machines. Obviously, the more machines you own, the more customers you're going to interest, and therefore, the more quarters you'll receive. But you'll soon find out that some games are bigger coin munchers than others. So how do you drive popularity with certain games? Simple. You play them. That's right. All of the arcade machines that you can purchase can actually be played. Each machine has about 3 to 5 different objectives to complete, which can range from get to a certain level, get a specific high score, or just purchase all available items in the game, among other things. As you complete these challenges, the popularity of the game goes up, netting higher profits. In addition, you have full control over placement of these machines. If you're smart, you can place machines that are in higher demand next to the lower performing cabinets in an attempt to drive more business toward the machine collecting dust. I tried this a few times, and although it seems to help slightly, getting those objectives cleared was definitely a bigger moneymaker than simple reorganization. As for the machines themselves, most of them are bare-bones clones of existing cabinets. Racer Chaser is a Pac-Man clone with a bit of GTA flavor, as if you get caught by a cop, you use loud music to stun the chasing officers, allowing you to run into a waiting car to try again. Blockchain is a sophisticated take on Tetris, forcing you to clear lines of specific amounts to erase the numbered blocks. Woodgal's Adventure is a take on Candy Crush. Video Air Hockey is Video Air Hockey. Most of the games are enjoyable in their own right, but I definitely steered away from a few, like Blockchain. Oh, and I should mention that anytime you want to play one of the games, it's free. You aren't obligated to throw a quarter in. You can also adjust how difficult the machine is along with the charge. I didn't do this often, but as I played the game a little bit more, I realized I probably should have, as I found that sometimes if you increase or decrease the amount you charge, you get a lot more money out of the game. So I know what you're thinking. How in the world do you juggle playing sweet arcade games to drive business, but manage a laundromat at the same time? Well, that's the catch. Many times, you'll have to sacrifice one or the other. Getting that high score and smoke 'em might mean letting a soggy pair of undies sit in a washer for a few hours. Otherwise, you might have to abandon a great run in Zombat 2 in order to appease a customer waiting patiently for a clean shirt. There's no real penalty for ignoring the laundry that I can see, other than receiving only a few bucks for the completed load. It's really up to you on how you want to run the place. You do have to remember to at least spend a minute to empty the hoppers though. There is a chance that they can get full if you neglect this, which means less money in your pocket. The third way to make money is by performing simple maintenance tasks around the building. These are all done with outlandish, over-the-top but outrageously simple minigames. The biggest one is just picking up trash. Newspapers strewn on the floor, used coffee cups, empty pizza boxes, lost socks. Once the bag is full, you take it outside to the dumpster along the side of the building and launch it in. Time the bar sleds at high power to earn the most money, somehow. Removing massive globs of gum functions in a similar way, although it takes a few hits on the meter to remove. Finally, if the toilet backs up, defeat that clog by rotating the mouse to get a sweet spot, and then keep clicking. Now, how this stuff earns so much money is beyond me, but the extra income is welcome. It is kind of irritating to find all this trash and gum at the start of each new day, though. It's like, who the hell is breaking in, emptying a trash bag full of junk on my floor, and then locking it back up? This trash doesn't accumulate throughout the day, so it's gotta be some prankster, right? Once you complete a few days, get some extra cash, and buy some more machines, you'll start receiving a daily to-do list from your father. These are 3 daily tasks that can be completed to earn pounds sterling. The reason why you want these is that you get extra skill upgrades by spending them at a website on the computer in the office. You can earn a whole slew of useful stuff. A digital save so that you can stop playing the safe opening minigame. Advertisements to give an easy boost of reputation to your arcade, improving business. Some mystic manual that slows down time while you are playing games, giving you more time to do so. An assistant that will empty the hoppers for you, although it's very costly. I kinda wish that there was an assistant to handle the front of the house stuff, aka the laundry, so that I could be just an actual arcade manager, but I guess we can't have it all. Many of the better upgrades are also a bit pricey. Again, like the assistant. So if you see something that you want, you may want to save up the pounds instead of buying the cheaper, less useful stuff first. For example, the sneakers give the nice ability to be able to sprint, but this really isn't necessary. Neither are the glasses that zoom in when you right click. It's not hard to spot the trash on the ground, and my eyesight isn't what it used to be. The games themselves play really well, which helps to continually draw you back into them. Most of the games are played solely with the keyboard, which can be detrimental to certain games, like the video air hockey. Playing this with a keyboard just feels wrong and clunky, but it is one of the easiest games to complete first, so getting it out of the way isn't a terrible idea. You'll definitely find your favorites to keep returning to over and over. You'll also eventually get high score challenges via email, so that helps maintain a competitive spirit with your customers. The sounds consist of arcade-accurate beeps and boops. The soundtrack is pretty amazing, with a mix of electronica and grunge. The jukebox allows you to play these songs when you purchase it, and the music blares, which is awesome. Plus, listen to the tracks enough and you can earn even more money from it. Even better. For the visuals, the game exudes a perfect late 80s, early 90s feel. Bright neon colors, words like radical and tubular, and era-applicable fonts create an immersion that makes me almost feel like a kid again. I said almost. I know I'm running a business here. As for the laundromat itself, it looks fantastic. I've spent many minutes in between laundry loads thinking, I don't have enough time to play a game, so I just walked around the business looking at the various signs and postings. Everything looks and feels the part, making the laundromat actually seem like a realistic place you'd see on the corner of the street. And how can I not mention the Witcher reference, heard after the first backroom expansion? It was so out of left field that I wasn't expecting it, and I couldn't help but smile. To me, the biggest selling point about these simulation-style games is sustainability. Do you want to keep coming back to it for just one more in-game day, and then another, and then another, and so on? Are you questioning just how much money you can make? Simulation games are meant to be played for actual days and days, and Arcade Paradise delivers on that aspect. I will admit that constantly having to deal with the laundry does tend to get old, but being able to duck into the back room to play some awesome arcade cabinets is a great prize. Combine the addictiveness with great atmosphere and a soundtrack that truly rocks with songs reminiscent of the era, and Arcade Paradise makes for an entertaining experience. If you have never played one of these sim types of games, Arcade Paradise is a great starting point. Final score, 6 out of 7. This is Reaper. Happy fragging.